This is urban ministry. Ministry is not limited to the four walls of the church. This is your boy Lyle Milton Notice, and we are here at Canadian Adventist Youth Summit in the streets of Quebec City. And I'm here to talk a little bit about urban ministry. What is that? What's urban ministry? Well, really, it's just ministering to people who are urban or in urban areas or an urban center like a city. Do you remember when God was talking to Moses and he said, Moses, take off your shoes because you're on holy ground? There's this thing about theology of place where it wasn't necessarily the ground that was holy, it was the fact that God was in that place. So as Christians, we bring God to whatever area we're in. We're in downtown Quebec City. And so as we're here, we're bringing God to this place because we are Christians. Urban ministry is about bringing tools and using what you've got in your hand. I like fashion. I'm rocking Jordan 1s right now. Wherever I travel, people are like, yo, those are dope shoes. And so what that does is it opens up a conversation to talk to people. Hey, yo, I like your shoes. Hey, for real? Yo, what's going on, man? Where you from? How you doing? It's using what you've got in your hand to do ministry, to reach out, to make a connection. So what can you do in urban ministry? Well, for instance, when you're in the city, there's a lot of poverty. And so there's people who have needs when it comes to food or clothing or economic development. So perhaps you could put together a food pantry, a food drive where you collect cans, dried goods. Maybe it's a clothing drive where you collect clothing. For those who are struggling in the city when it comes to finances, perhaps you could have an economic development, a session at your church. There's so many things that you can do when it comes to urban ministry in the city. Transportation, refugee ministries, finances, school. There's so many things. I can't list them all, but it's about finding the need in your community, finding the need, whatever the need is in the city that you're in. Urban ministry is about coming up with creative ways of how to use whatever it is that you have in your hand to reach somebody. So I remember I was at the skate park in Macomb and I met this young kid, his name was Jack, 13 years old. He was a talented graffiti artist. He kept on graffitiing places, getting in trouble. I said, bro, why don't you take that and put it on a shirt? It turns out that we got investors. We helped him to start his own fashion company, streetwear company called Burner. Essentially, he was doing something urban in the streets, getting in trouble, but we put positive energy behind that, inspired him and encouraged him, and all of a sudden he's an entrepreneur. That's an example of urban ministry in the streets. So you might be wondering, who can do urban ministry? Do I need to go to school? Do I need to be trained? Listen, urban ministry is for everybody who loves people. It's about going to the marketplace. It's about going downtown. It's about being amongst the people. You don't have to be worried about being shy. It's just about making connections with people who are in the city. Jesus loved the cities. Why? Because that's where the prostitutes were. That's where the tax collectors were. That's where literally the people who never got respect, the marginalized were. And so if you want to do urban ministry, just get to know people, love them, be around them. Literally be what Jesus would be to those people in the urban centers. You know what's really dope about urban ministry? You don't need money. Literally all we need is you, just to show up. Ministry of presence. Don't wait. It's about doing it now. Hit the cities, go downtown, go to the marketplace, go to Starbucks, go to the libraries, wherever people are. Do it now. And I'm telling you, God will use you as a blessing to those who need God.